Okay, so we're back. And, last time we were getting into all the stuff about gambling in Germany, right?
Right.
And we were looking into INSIC.
Yeah.
They're kind of a big deal over there, it seems.
It seems that way, yeah.
So today we're going to take a deep dive into something called the OASIS Spielerspur system.
Okay.
You sent over some info about this, and wow, this looks complicated.
It's pretty involved.
Yeah, so we're going to try to break this down for everyone listening. How does this thing work?
Right.
What does it mean, for the players over there, for the industry itself?
For sure.
And maybe we can find some interesting things along the way that, maybe weren't obvious right off the bat.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to unpack here.
Definitely. So from what I'm seeing, this OASIS Spielerspur system, it's mandatory, right?
That's right.
Across all kinds of gambling in Germany.
Yeah, they've really tried to make this comprehensive.
So like if you're going to buy a lottery ticket
or,
hop online and play some slots or whatever.
It doesn't matter.
This system's involved somehow.
It's meant to cover everything.
Wow, okay.
Which is a pretty huge deal when you think about it.
Yeah, so how does this thing actually work?
So basically, imagine a giant database that keeps track of all the players who either, decided themselves they need to stop gambling or they've been blocked by like the providers, the casinos or whatever.
Okay.
And before anyone can gamble at all, the provider, whether it's, an online site or even your local, betting shop or whatever.
I see.
They have to check the player's status in this OASIS system.
So it's like a security check.
Yeah, you got it.
Interesting.
It's there to make sure that everyone who's playing is allowed to be playing.
Okay, so from what I'm looking at here, there are like two ways to end up on this list, right?
Exactly.
You can say, hey, I need to stop gambling, and they'll put you on the list.
Voluntarily exclude themselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or the providers can say, hey, this person's a problem.
We're going to block them.
So they get blocked.
Right.
That seems like it covers a lot of ground.
It's meant to be pretty thorough.
Yeah. But what happens if the system crashes or something?
Oh, that's where things get really strict.
Okay.
If OASIS is offline, no gambling's allowed, period.
Wow.
Everything stops.
Really?
Yeah, it's no joke.
So they're not messing around?
Not at all.
That's intense.
It shows how seriously they take responsible gambling over there.
Yeah, for sure. But something here seems a little strange to me.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
This whole verification thing.
Okay.
Seems awfully simple.
You mean how they check if someone's on the list?
Yeah. It's just first name, last name, birth date. That's it.
Yeah, on the surface, it does seem kind of basic, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, what if you have two people with the same name and birthday?
That's a good point. There's definitely potential for errors there, especially with common names,
Right, exactly.
And then there's the whole data privacy issue.
Yeah, good point.
How do they make sure all this info is secure,
With INSIC.
Right, exactly. With INSIC handling everything, are they doing enough to protect people's information?
That's a big question.
It is. It's something to think about.
For sure. So I guess the next question is, does this actually work?
You mean, does it actually reduce problem gambling?
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole point, right?
Absolutely.
But has anyone even studied that?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen any specific data in what you sent, but it's definitely something worth looking into.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, if it's not effective, then what's the point, right?
Exactly. All right, so moving on, who actually has access to this system?
Okay.
So it looks like it's only licensed gambling providers, right?
Right.
Both the online ones and what they call terrestrial.
Yeah, terrestrial just means like brick and mortar, the physical locations.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So your casinos, your betting shops, all that.
Gotcha. Okay, so they can use OASIS.
Exactly.
But nobody else.
Well, the regulators have access to, of course.
Right, of course.
But the point is, it's a very controlled system.
Okay, and each provider gets like a special key or something.
Yeah, it's called a security certificate, and INSIC manages all of that.
Oh, so INSIC's really right in the middle of all this, huh?
Oh, yeah. They're a major player here.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So how do the regulators and the providers actually use the system?
Okay, so the regulators, they can directly input blocking orders through a dedicated website.
So they have their own special website.
Exactly. And then the providers, they use a specific web service to check a player's status before they can gamble.
So everyone's got their own way to get in.
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay, that makes sense. But this is where it gets crazy.
Oh, yeah.
The scope of this thing is wild.
Tell me about it.
It's not just casinos.
No.
We're talking state lotteries,
Yeah.
sports betting, online poker. Even arcade operators have to use this thing.
It's really impressive when you think about the logistics of it all.
Yeah, how do you even coordinate something like that across so many different types of, gambling?
It's a massive undertaking for sure.
It really shows how committed they are to this whole responsible gambling thing.
Yeah, it's definitely a statement.
So to sum this up, this OASIS Spielerspurs system, it's super strict. It covers pretty much every kind of gambling you can think of in Germany.
Yeah, it's very far-reaching.
It's designed to prevent problem gambling, and they've got all these different layers of protection built in.
It's a pretty comprehensive system.
Everyone involved has a specific role to play, and INSIC's right there in the middle of it all.
Right.
It's a lot to take in.
It really is. It makes you think about a lot of things,
Yeah, and like what? All right, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the OASIS Spielerspurs system. We'll catch you next time.